Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Stampin' Chat with Kay. Good to have you here. Good morning. Yes, I realized as I was setting up my camera that I forgot to turn off notifications, so that took an extra minute for those of you that are wondering why I'm a teeny bit late. Good morning. Oh, you're already sharing. I am giving away 2 yards of the lovely gold metallic ribbon, the gold edged ribbon. It's so pretty. Let me see if I can find the official name. There's so many different languages. There we go. It's just metallic edge ribbon, and it has the gold, but it has sort of an ivory color to it, so it goes really, really good with our very vanilla paper. Hello. Oh, we have people watching from all over. Phoenix, North Dakota, Utah. Oh my goodness, so many places. Welcome. Well, you're all here to see a really fun fold card, right? Of course you are. Okay, let me, but I have things from the mailbox that you will want to see. So let me start with that. This first card is from Diana Hughes. She sent me this card because she is getting my September kit, and she's very excited about it, which happens to be the Love of Leaves bundle. For those of you that are watching live, today is the last day to sign up for this kit. And you can go to my blog to find out more information about that. But she sent a really pretty card that was one of those cards that was in a kit, and I'm not sure how long ago it was, but I love getting kit cards in the mail because it gives me inspiration for what I can do when I'm card making. So thank you so much, Diana. I like it. I like it. I like it. The next card I got comes from one of my customers who lives down in Texas. So this is Teresa Steele, and I love the way she used the dimensionals on this card, because if you live in Texas or any of those southern states, you know about cotton. And she took the dimensionals and put them beneath the vellum for the most recent paper pumpkin kit, and it sort of looks like those cotton bowls. So here is what it looks like, and I really like it. She's just given me a little a little thumbs up on all of the videos that I make for you. So really pretty card. Thank you so much, Teresa, and you know I think you are the best. So really sweet card. And the next card is from one of my downline members. This is from Dawn Michaels, and she used the ornate thanks and did the starburst technique. So let me show you this pretty card. Thank you so much, Dawn. You know I love it. I really like this technique. It's been a while since I've visited it, so it might be something I need to do in the future because it's really easy. Good morning, everyone. Oh, we are getting so many watchers. Thank you. The next card that I want to share with you is from another downline member. She is fairly new to our group. Her name is Linda Melcher, and she is actually on one of Dawn's downline members. So she sent me a pretty thank you card. So here it is. Thank you so much, Linda. I love it. I love clean and simple and easy cards. So, and she uses my favorite punch, the tailored tag punch. So very pretty. I love cards that can just be put together in minutes, because it's way better to get a card in the mail than to think about making a card and think about making a card and think about making a card and then never making the card, and worse yet, never mailing it. So I like quick, easy cards. So Linda knows my style. The next card I want to share with you is from Darlene Lombard, and she sent me a cute card for all the work that I did recently with a leaders group that I was in. She said she cased Susan Campfield, but changed the colors. So here's her pretty card. I think it's the Beautiful Autumn bundle, which has those 3 punches. So a very pretty card. So thank you so much. I really love it. And again, that was Darlene Lombard that made that for me. Just beautiful. I can't stop looking at it. So all of these will go on display in my office, so I appreciate that so much. All right. I have to have a drink here. Give me a second. My voice is a little scratchy today. I don't know why. I don't even live in California, although today when our sun was streaming in, I said to Steve, I said, oh my gosh, look at the floor. The sunlight on our kitchen floor actually looked peachy colored. Now I know like in places like Montana, Idaho, California, Washington, Oregon, I know that the sun looks literally orange when it's shining down at you, if it even can get through the smoke bank at all. But it's amazing to me here in the center of the United States in Minnesota, I am getting kind of a peachy glow. Now I suppose that's maybe gone now because the sun is higher in the sky, but it was really weird to see that this morning when the sun was coming. Well, it was up. It was probably just an hour ago, but it had a weird peachy look to it. So even in Minnesota, we're seeing some of those effects of the wildfires. Oh, how I wish they were wildflowers. But we'll keep you all in our thoughts and prayers. Stampin' Up! Is very good with helping demonstrators out there who have lost their homes. They give them a free starter kit as soon as they find out they're in trouble. And then we also have a demonstrator group called Sudden Response, where we will mail out, you know, little extras that we might have, extra swap cards, extra embellishments, an extra bundle that we might have ordered that we're not going to use. We pass that on to those demonstrators. So just my heart just breaks thinking about it. It's terrible. So for those of you that are not as affected by all of that and are in your craft room making cards, maybe to send to people, that's what we're going to focus on today. We are going to focus on making a beautiful card. So it looks like this, and it's a fun fold card. And this is the first time I've ever done one of these really pretty, I don't know what you even call them, but they're all cut at the diagonal. So when you open it up, I'll try to sit back here. It looks like this. Hopefully you're seeing that. I don't know. The iPad's so much slower than than the camera. Okay, so let me flip the camera down and we'll get started making this card. One thing I want to share with you about this card is when you're cutting designer series paper that has a design on it, you will have to go back and forth if you're making several of them so that your design is not upside down, because the pumpkins on this particular piece of the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper, they do have stems all going up in a certain direction, so you don't really want those upside down. So on one card that will be at the top, and on the other card it will be at the bottom. So you will be flip-flopping back and forth where you're putting your designer series paper. And then this is the gorgeous set of colors that I picked to go with this card, and it is Early Espresso and Cajun Craze and then gold foil, and then of course all on a backdrop of Very Vanilla. Just to let you know, I gave this card to the top 10 demonstrators in my downline for sales. So if they had high sales in August, this was the top 10 card that went out to them, to my top 10 demonstrators. And I know they loved it. So I try to put a little extra work into those top 10 cards. So here it is, and it's so pretty. And of course, I'm going to explain why I have this little design up here in just a minute. But we'll go ahead and get started making this. So let me show you some of the different things that we're using today. First of all, it's the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. I'm crazy about this paper. I've used it for so many things this fall. Love it. I love it in every way. So we have 6 different designs, and then of course there's a design on the front of the paper and on the back side of the paper, and then we have all these different colors of cardstock that coordinate it, including copper and gold. So that's really fun when you can bring in some of those foils. We also have a couple of different selections of foils. We have our regular foils that have been in our product line for a long time in gold and silver, and brass is now there. and copper. But we also have something called brushed metallic papers, and they have entered our line for fall, and they're really pretty as well. So those can also be a part of this card. We are going to be using the bundle called Love of Leaves. You see me use this a lot. In fact, it's in my September card kits to go. So thank you to those of you that have already ordered a kit. One more reminder, if you're watching this on September 15th, today is the last day to sign up. Again, if you're interested in learning more about how to do that, go to my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com. And on any post between now and the 1st of September, you will find a link to click. Otherwise, just go find the post from September 1st. And here it is, the beautiful Love of Leaves stamp set and the coordinating dies. And on this card, you might notice we are using this beautiful scalloped rectangular border that is from these, oh dear, it's the Sentiment, oh, it is Stitch So Sweetly. I am so bad at remembering names. I really don't know why I don't have it up here, but sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But this is the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and we'll be using the largest one, in case you're wondering. And we also have the Nested Labels dies. You're wondering, wait, where's that? It's the little teeny tiny hello up here. That's with the very smallest nested label die. So it's perfect. And yes, that hello is actually in the stamp set. And then of course the leaf die from the stitched leaves. All right, so the first thing that you're going to need to create this card is a full sheet of paper. This is our Very Vanilla cardstock. You could also use the thick Very Vanilla cardstock, but I think I was using what I had when I designed this card, which was just our regular Very Vanilla. It is not even cut at this point, because what you want to do is you want to score it first. So you have your full sheet. You're going to score at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side, and then on the 11.5 inch side, you're going to score at 5.5. So then what you do is you cut this in half diagonally. So I did that already, so let me show you what we have here to get started. So then it's just a matter of folding it so that the bottom flap opens to the right and the top flap, of course, will open towards the top. So we're making 2 cards today because we're going to do a giveaway. And I went ahead and I put a little strip of Designer Series paper on the inside. That is a 1x4 inch strip. It wouldn't have to be that big. You can make it a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. I just happen to have some 1 inch strips in my scraps pile. So that is what I used, in case you're wondering. So that is 1x4 inches right there at the bottom of that panel. Then you're going to be surprised how easy it is to make this card, because the next thing you need are just standard sized panels. One of the Designer Series paper that I've chosen to use here, which is the Pumpkin and Squash, and it's basically cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then once you have it cut at 4 by 5 1/4, you just tip it and you slice it on the diagonal. You're going to do the exact same thing with a piece of gold foil, again cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then again you just tip it and slice it diagonally. So easy peasy for preparing your panels that go onto the front of your card. So let's go ahead and put those onto the front of our card. And the first panel we want to put on is not the gold. Really important to remember that, because you want to make sure that you don't have your pumpkins upside down. You can ask me how I know, because I went ahead and put the gold panels on first and then realized that I had a bunch of upside down pumpkins. So I have learned from my mistakes so that you do not have to make the same mistakes that I made. I am using Stampin Seal, and I am just going to go ahead And we are putting Stampin' Seal on this. And then, let me get something here. Oh no, where is it? I am frantically looking. Oh, here it is. I was looking for my Stampin' mat because I want to be able to see what I'm doing, and cream on white doesn't show up very well. So this is going to go on the bottom, and we're going to just float it over the top. You notice I'm not saying the H word anymore. For those of you that are wondering, don't even ask. All right, so we are floating this over the top. Just make sure all 3 borders are nice and even and get that pressed down. And then you're going to do the same thing over here, but of course on this part you're going to use gold. So then take the panel that is going to fit there. Well, actually they both fit there. But then go ahead and add your Stampin' Seal. And then you're just going to set this on again, float it right over the top. And when all of those borders look pretty even, then you just drop it into place, and call it good. I always burnish from the back because in case I have something on my hand like coffee or cream, it doesn't mess it up. So there's our first card. Now we'll go ahead and do the second one, and we're just going to repeat this process. We're going to start, of course, with the Designer Series paper. And then we're going to just drop that into place, and so that one will have to be on the top flip up, so, because we want the pumpkins to, the stems to the top on the pumpkins. Now if you're using a Designer Series paper that, you know, is all random and doesn't matter, well then yeah, of course you can make your cards all look exactly the same. Then grab that gold foil, and again, just add your snail. Oh, did I say snail? Just add your seal. Snails and seals. I kind of like the word snail or seal a little better than snail. It's kind of funny. Okay, so let me go ahead and set this on here. Sorry, I haven't been looking at comments because I haven't been able to, but I will try to peek up. Maybe when I get to something where I can peek up. All right, so here we go. Look at that. There we are. It's amazing how quickly this card actually goes. All right, so then let me share with you the next step, which is to take some scrap paper. Just scrap paper that's big enough to fit the largest of this Stitched So Sweetly rectangular scalloped die. Then what you're going to do is you are going to run it through your Stampin' Cut machine, and it's going to look like this. But before you put it on your card, you want to run it again through your Stampin' Cut machine, and you want to use this leaf cutout right here. So you would just put this right over the top so that it is perfectly as centered, or as centered as you can get. Run it through, and you'll do that for as many cards as you're making, and then you're going to have something that looks like this. And this is what you're going to use on the front of your card, but before you put it onto your card, you will need to add your Designer Series paper as a peek through. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I picked this, oh, I have no idea what this pattern is called. Is it like herringbone? I'm not sure. But the other side is mint macaron with some gold foil leaves. And you know what? That would also look pretty. So it's kind of whatever you want to do. But I'm going with this early espresso pattern, so it picks up the early espresso ink that I'm going to be using. I cut this at 2.5 by 3 5/8, and we are going to set this on the back side of our die cutouts. So flip it over and you're going to put your Stampin' Seal on the back. And I do not put it on this panel because I don't want the Stampin' Seal to accidentally come through to the front, because that would be a sticky situation that you do not want to have. All right, then what you're going to do is flip it over and just center it right over the top and then drop it in. And this is what it'll look like on the front. So we're going to do the exact same thing to this one. Center it in, drop it down, give it a little press, and there you go. So pretty. Now we can go ahead and we can attach this to the front of our card. And so if you notice, when you put this on, where do you want your adhesive? You want your adhesive in this area right here. So what I like to do, because I don't want to make mistakes and end up with adhesive maybe a little bit too far past and then end up sticking adhesive over here by accident, I actually take the Stampin' Seal and what I did when I was making these cards is I kind of put this where I knew I was going to have it, and then I just put my finger right here, and I knew that I couldn't get the Stampin' Seal past that. So then I just did a little triangle right there. And of course, if you do this multiple times, you don't even need to put your finger there because you'll know right where it goes. Then you set this on here so that you have an even border on all three sides, which will give you just a teeny bit of a bigger border on the bottom, but that's okay. So then you have something that looks like this. So we're getting closer. So let's go ahead and do the same thing here. So once again, you just put it up here to where you think it's going to go. Set your finger right there and know that you don't get your adhesive any higher than your finger. And then you take the panel you're going to be dropping down. Make sure the right and the left and the top is all about even. Drop that in, give it a press, and there we are. Doesn't that look good? So far, so good. So now let's discuss. We have a little hello that needs to go up here. So I did pre-do a few of these cute, teeny tiny little nested labels. They're so much fun to make. And I have my early espresso ink, and I have my hello all ready to go. What I love about photopolymer stamps is you can see through and stamp right where you want to. So there's one, and here's the other. Perfect. Now, because I don't like touching anything that's just been freshly inked, I did do a couple in advance right before the video started. And so I've got those are all dry and ready to go on the card. So that's what we're going to put on the card. And we're going to use little mini dimensionals. So let me get my mini dimensionals out here. And I'm going to, where'd it go? Hold on one second. I'm going to use my paper piercer to get them off. And I'm going to put them onto the back. And of course, some of these already have the little top pulled off, which is why I'm keeping this little panel over it. And I think you could almost do a full-size dimensional back there, but it's so nice if you don't have to twist and turn it to make it fit just right when you're using the minis, because the minis are meant for little pieces just like this. So then just take your little hello And you're just going to put it so that, see where that little nose comes out right there? You're just going to put it so that that little nose comes just past your Stitch So Sweetly die. Except I want it down just a hair. So I'm trying to sort of get it in between. There we go. I don't want it too close to where the edge of that leaf is, but that looks good. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And this one went quite a bit quicker. All right, so there we go, and the front is almost done except for the bow, but we'll do that as our finishing touch at the end. So now what we want to do is discuss the inside, because, you know, my perfectionistic tendencies are not really letting me let this go. So we've got to fix this because it just doesn't quite look finished to me. So I made 2 extra die cuts of that panel that we used on the front, and we're going to go ahead and put that onto the inside of our card here. So we're going to set this in just like so. Just line it up so that everything is nice and lined up and even and perfect. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And then if you wanted to, this whole panel here is kind of an open book. So you can decide exactly what works the best for you. You could maybe stamp a sentiment there. You could write an additional handwritten note there. However, I happen to have 2 leaves left over because we cut out these leaves here on the front. So why not use them somewhere on the card? So that's what we're going to do. It's a very soft tone on tone look, which you know I love that. So I'm going to grab, oh shoot, I don't have it. Why do I not have the things I want? I always check this, and yet I never always have it all together. So give me a second, I have to run across the room. I cleaned my office. Was it yesterday or the day before? Big mistake, because then everything got put away and then I didn't have it handy when I needed it. All right, so here we go. We've got these leaves. I'm putting them on a silicone mat. That's what I went across to get. So I'm just adding my Stampin' Seal to the back of the leaves. And the reason I like doing this is then on the silicone mat, the Stampin' Seal will only stick to the stem. It doesn't mess up your whole crafting area. And it doesn't stick to the, and then it just disappears. I don't know where it goes, but it isn't on the mat and it isn't on the front of the stem. It's only up back here. So I don't know exactly what happens to the seal. That, I don't know, it's a mystery. All right, so then you're gonna take your leaf and you're gonna set this right here because it just looks so beautiful there. And it looks way better in real life than on the camera, just trust me. So we're gonna do the same thing over here, and that finishes out the inside just beautifully. Perfect. All right. And then you can either stamp something in here if you want to, or leave it blank. I believe, did I stamp something for my downline? I did. So for my downline, I stamped, "I'm so glad you're in my life." But I am going to leave that blank for you guys who are receiving this, because 2 people will get this in the mail as part of the giveaway. And I'll leave it blank so you guys can use the card for whatever you would like. All right, so there we go. It's beautiful. I love it, but it's not quite done. So what we need to do is we need to take that ribbon, that'll be part of the giveaway, and you're going to make a bow. So just tie the bow right off the roll of ribbon. I'm giving myself a little extra room. Normally, if I'm not on video, I'm a little more chintzy, but I don't want to take too much time at this. So we're going to just tie a bow, trim it off. I always have a dedicated scissors so that we only use this scissors for cutting ribbon. Otherwise, they get dull pretty quick if you're using them on paper. Then what you're, oh, look at that. It just makes such a difference immediately adding that bow. I'm always so impressed what a little bit of ribbon can do to elevate your card to a beautiful new level. So I am grabbing my little glue dots here. I'm going to stick a bow right there. So pretty. Then I did pre-make a bow, so I will stick that one on. And there it is. Oh, isn't it pretty? So let's get all the cards together here. And you can see them all together. I think we have one more floating around. Here it is. Aren't they just beautiful? Oh my gosh, I just love them. So there they are, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of my Stampin' Chat with Kay today. I just want to give you a heads up. I will not be doing a Stampin' Chat with Kay on Thursday. Steve has a lot of vacation time to use up, so we are going to start using some of it, and I will not be around. So you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you a week from today on a Stampin' Chat with Kay. Bye-bye, everybody.